Is it me? Am I the drama? I don't think I'm the drama. Maybe I am.
Hi, welcome to Slow Cooking with Pot Roast. This is Pot Roast. I'm cooked. Actually, I'm no longer slowly cooking. I've cooked. First of all, to all the people who told me over and over again that she was dying from kidney disease, you were wrong. You were so fucking wrong. What's really killing her is the weight of your ignorance. No, I'm just joking. It's her bone marrow. So Pot Roast tested positive for FIV, and this blindsided me. She tested negative as a kitten, as did all my other cats, as did every cat we fostered, and I just never considered. The only way I can think of that this might have happened is that my other cat Carrot went outside sometimes, and maybe she got bit by another cat who had FIV and I just didn't notice a bite wound, and then she came inside and bit Pot Roast and I didn't notice a bite wound. And as we know, Carrot is famously dead, so I cannot ask her. You're like, did she die from FIV? No, she died from getting hit by a car, so that was a little bit faster than FIV. As we know, cats who have FIV can live long and happy lives. That is not what's gonna happen to Pot Roast, I don't think. But that explained to me that Pot Roast FIV has progressed into her bone marrow, so her bone marrow is no longer making red or white blood cells. She had to have a blood transfusion, etc. She already takes steroids for what we thought was like an autoimmune issue, but now she's gonna take more. I asked one of the vets, I said, okay, is Pot Roast gonna die of this soon? And she said, she's living on borrowed time. And I said, Pot Roast invented borrowing time, so jot that down. And Pot Roast had to go back to the vet hospital, and I asked another vet that. And this man, and I cannot stress this enough, was wearing one of those yellow Lance Armstrong Livestrong bracelets. I hadn't seen one of those since 2006. Where this man got one, I would love to know. But he said a lot of things, but he did not say yes. So it's gonna be okay. You and me, we will get through this. Pot Roast might not, but okay, that one was too soon. I'm sorry.
I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
Like the grapes that thrive on the vine.
Oye, Mariano's on his
He
way.
told me that the man of my...
Did everyone enjoy the Halloween special?
No, Randy. Only you did.
Oh, well, that was pretty much my target audience anyway.
If we had 5 more minutes.
And I'm sorry I left, but it was for the best, though it never felt right. My little Versailles.
Living just comes with a bit of heartache comes with a bit of young faith. Faith stays young till your heart get broken. Hope grows up to become someday. I've never hurt no one and no one ever hurt me. I believe, I believe, I believe. Faith play dumb to the doubts I leave. I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe. Man, I won't fight to the people I speak. I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe. Canaan ain't fire for the souls who bother their pain.
He is half of my soul, as the poets say. I could recognize him by touch alone, by smell. I would know him blind, by the way his breaths came and his feet struck the earth. I would know him in death, at the end of the world.
I did want to take a moment and not disturb you, but did want to let you know how terribly sorry I am about Pot Roast. I think you did wonderful things for her in the life that you had with her.
I received so much love and support and kindness. I am more grateful than I could ever express with my human words. I've also received some criticism, and I just want to say that I don't regret anything. And you're like, even those times you told people that Pot Roast wasn't dying and they were insane for thinking that, especially those times. Every piece of information I had available, so that's exams by professionals, that's tests, that's ultrasounds, that's an x-ray, that's blood work, there was nothing that said that Pot Roast was dying. So do I regret not listening to the cesspool of unqualified individuals that is the internet? No, of course not. I did right by Pot Roast. I did right by myself. I did everything that I could have. I held Pot Roast as she died, and I know that she died knowing how loved she was. And as an aside, if you see a woman share the life and death of her cat, document it, show it to 1 million people, and then you want to criticize her for that, you think, I'm gonna go condemn her actions now that she's grieving. I feel like that might be an incredible opportunity for you to examine your own choices, you know, to take that judgmental gaze, kind of turn it inwards. Say, why am I such an asshole? Someone commented that in the year after their cat's death, they had 3 psychotic breaks and subsequent hospitalizations. grippy sock field trips. And at the time I was like, I get it. You know, pet loss is absolutely devastating. But now that ultimately Carrot and Pot Roast have died, abandoned me in this realm, and Smokey Joe is, yeah, living, laughing, and loving in the arms of a Republican. And a Republican who, and I cannot stress this enough, offered me $100,000 to prove to him that the earth is round, but he did say that we'd have to go to Florida together, and I don't want to go to Florida regular, you know, let alone with him. Anyways, now I'm thinking 3 psychotic breaks seems really low. Almost unattainably low. I can't keep it together like that. And I've never understood minimalism. I received so much love and support and kindness. I am more grateful than I could ever express with my human words. I've also received some criticism, and I just want to say that I don't regret anything. And you're like, even those times you told people that Pot Roast wasn't dying and they were insane for thinking that, especially those times. Every piece of information I had available, so that's exams by professionals, that's tests, that's ultrasounds, that's an x-ray, that's blood work, there was nothing that said that Pot Roast was dying. So do I regret not listening to the cesspool of unqualified individuals that is the internet? No, of course not. I did right by Pot Roast. I did right by myself. I did everything that I could have. I held Pot Roast as she died, and I know that she died knowing how loved she was. And as an aside, if you see a woman share the life and death of her cat, document it, show it to 1 million people, and then you want to criticize her for that, you think, I'm gonna go condemn her actions now that she's grieving. I feel like that might be an incredible opportunity for you to examine your own choices, you know, to take that judgmental gaze, kind of turn it inwards. Say, why am I such an asshole? Relax, she's living. As much as anyone who died years ago could be living. That aged poorly. Well, you know what else? Aged poorly is Pot Roast. Okay, let's not disrespect her greatest joke to date. She had an incredible sense of humor. Watch your mouth.
Did you get enough love, my little dove? Why do you cry? And I'm sorry I left, but it was for the best, though it never felt right.
This is what I think it looked like when Pot Roast and Carrot met in the afterlife, and I will be voicing both Pot Roast and Carrot because TikTok took that Rocket Raccoon voice away. Those fucking cowards. Well, well, well. If it isn't the cat I dragged in here myself. Okay, so you did give me FIV. God, I wish you could get hit by a car again. You know, now that you're here, I kind of wish I could get hit by another car. I envy everyone who's never met you. You know, I think you underestimated how loved and adored I was. It's impossible to underestimate you. You know, you are a weapons grade bitch.
The woman was too stunned to speak.
Something I kind of wanted to discuss today is I found a couple photos, and I just wanted your take. So here we have Pot Roast in the year 2019. Oh my god, there's a glare. And that is my aloe vera plant. Okay, Pot Roast doing incredible, aloe vera not. And this is my aloe vera plant today. Okay, so it's grown, and Pot Roast has, you know, stopped growing completely. And I think there's something to that, and I'd love to unpack it at this time. I'm not ready to talk about everything yet, but I did want to tell you about the day that Pot Roast died. And I do want to stress that I have been trying to film this video since 5 p.m. It is now 10:17 p.m. But I couldn't stop crying, and then eventually my phone died, and then I did fall asleep on the living room floor. But I'm the only person that lives here, so it's like that's kind of just an extension of my bed, you know? Sunday, Valentine's Day, Pot Roast went back to the, almost said mental hospital, okay, chic. She went to the veterinary hospital for the 3rd time. And when I am ready to talk about like the whole thing, it'll probably be a really long video I'll put on YouTube. But anyways, so Wednesday morning, I went to go see her on Tuesday, and she was still kind of a little bit herself. But Wednesday morning at like 3 a.m. I woke up and my chest just felt really heavy, and so I called and I asked how she was. The vet tech said she was not doing well and that they couldn't stabilize her blood sugar. And so I just stayed awake until I could go when they had visiting hours. And when I saw her, this is what she looked like. When I saw her, I knew that it was over. I knew that we were out of time. And so, you know, the vet had plan to start a third antibiotic and send off more blood work. I said, I think it's time. I want to put Pot Roast to sleep. And I said, can we please go home? And he said that her blood sugar was not stable enough. She wouldn't have survived the car ride. So we went into an exam room. We got into the exam room. She started to seize. And so I asked for her to be put to sleep right then and there. It was unspeakably sad. But I got to hold her while she died. And I will always be really grateful for that. I wasn't ready, but she was. And that's okay. I will find her again. Always.